Alright. This has been about a week in the making, but we're finally here. We've caught up on all of the other activities I wanted to do. We did some pancration, we did some world quests, we're caught up on a bunch of the lore. We did all the character quests. All that's left is for us to do the Act 5 Archon quest, Masquerade of the Guilty. If you want to stay up to date on everything that we've been doing on the stream, feel free to join the Discord. And if you're watching this on YouTube, this is probably going to get broken up into multiple parts, because I have a bad feeling that this is going to be 5 hours. And I would like to keep videos on the channel less than 3, just because my editing software hates 3-hour videos. Alright, so also for the people on YouTube, before we continue, I'll probably try to edit in for you guys something from a few episodes ago, because we did accidentally start this world quest already. Oh, it's gonna respawn me here.
Now for a little rest after breakfast. This is the life.
Oh, it's gonna immediately start me in the Act 5 quest.
What's supposed to happen today? Oh, today's our big day! We're supposed to leave the Fortress of Maripede! Come on, we've got to go complete the release procedures now!
Masquerade of the Guilty. I'm gonna edit all of this together someday. Mongolin. I don't know how to pronounce her name.
Please, sign here. This document will be effective immediately upon signing, and you two may exit the Fortress of Maripede via the regular channels.
It's been so long since we've been to the surface. Let's hurry up and... Huh?
That's not good. That's not good at all.
What's happening?
Are you okay?
I'm fine, thanks. But I wonder what that tremor was just now.
Do you guys not get earthquakes in Fontaine?
Let's go ask the Duke.
A new life's beginning. Exit card issued by the Fortress of Maripede. I wonder how the construction on his boat's going. So, if I remember correctly, we were on a 45-day sentence, so by the starting of this quest means that 45 days have passed. Which is a little over a month. Month and a half. We committed acts of terrorism against the Archon, which puts us in jail for 45 days, and that act of terrorism is stealing a cake, but that's not important.
Your Grace?
Ah, good to see you two. Is there something you wish to see me about?
Earthquake.
Yeah, what was with that earthquake just now?
Thank you, Pylon.
Ah, that. The tremor didn't originate from the seafloor. In fact, it seems it came from the surface. Over the years of serving as the warden here, I've developed a sense for distinguishing between what occurs on the surface and what occurs underwater. Besides, the seal that Monsieur Neuvillette set in place won't fail so easily.
So the fortress is okay?
I hope so.
If you recall our last incident, if there really were a problem, there would be crowds of inmates in a panic right now.
Huh, you've got a point. Okay, seems we need to get back up to the surface and ask about what happened. By the way, do you know what day it is today?
I believe today is this month's pipe cleaning day.
Is it now? What a weird coincidence.
Wait, seriously?
Actually, today's the day we say goodbye to the fortress.
Ah, yes. Have you completed your release papers?
Yep. It's you two.
Good
Are
win.
you leaving now? That's right! Today is our last day in prison! But now that Paimon says that, it doesn't feel like we were confined here. It's actually been pretty nice!
A lot of people have helped us out.
Oh yeah, Paimon feels fond of this place now!
I wonder if, Lenny and Lynette are okay as well, because they were in here for a time period, but I don't really know the extent of how long they were supposed to be here was.
Then be sure to come back and visit. I'll miss you.
Oh, I'm gonna visit all the time. This place is fun to be around just for the background music alone.
If you've signed the release papers, then you're free to go. The guards will escort you out.
You're not going to see us off?
I mean, we could always just teleport Waypoint out too, right?
I knew you'd ask. All right, sure. Let's go.
Well, you actually agreed. No worries, you must be busy. Paimon was just joking.
If there was anything we learned from the Rice Lee character quest, he's almost never fucking busy.
Ah, so you do have a polite side, I see.
Paimon is definitely the more polite one out of the two of us.
After being down here for so long, I imagine you must feel like you're lacking companionship. Shall I come along too?
Nah, that's alright. It's not like we'll never visit again.
Yeah, don't worry, we'll come back to see you. Paimon really likes the cafeteria here. The chefs sure do know how to make good grub.
Would you like us to give any message to Monsieur Nervalette?
I hope you won't be here as convicts the next time I see you.
We'll do our best to stay out of trouble.
You definitely we won't be convicts the next time you see us, because we already did the unfinished comedy world quest, so we're not getting arrested again. Apparently, I looked it up. You can get arrested and end up in Maripede outside of the Archon quest as part of the unfinished comedy quest.
Well, it seems our work in the Fortress of Maripede is finished. That's the end of another chapter in our journey. And since Nervalette was the one who asked us to come here, we should probably go report to him now. Next up, the Palais Mermonia. You're going to see Monsieur Nervalette? Please pass on our kind regards.
Wouldn't dream of not doing it.
I'm sure just your regards will do, no?
I believe it would be the polite thing to do.
You're right. I've heard the Palais has been terribly busy these days. Tell him that I hope he hasn't been overwhelmed by the recent string of troubles.
Alright. Any extra dialogue?
If you're concerned about things at the Palais, why don't you take some time to go up and check things out? I believe you should still have some vacation time to spend.
Thank you for being so understanding. It means a lot. It's been some time since I've gone to the surface. I must say that I've started to miss it a little.
I love the soft and somber music that plays inside this office. Oh, wait, why am I walking? Teleport waypoints. OP. Please nerf. Alright. All kidding aside. Time to report to Monsieur Nervalette. There was a video that was sent to me by one of my mods. I didn't watch it for fear of spoilers, but apparently it's just a compilation of every single time Monsieur Nervalette says the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Auricale, or whatever its full name is. Cardinal. The Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal. That's the full name, right? Oh, there's a commotion out here.
The Palais Mermonia sure is buzzing with activity today.
That was the audio weird there, or is that just me?
Huh? Oh, it's you two. Apologies. Monsieur Nervalette did say you'd be welcome at any time.
Excuse me. Would you mind helping me take a look at this report?
Isadora.
I'll be right there. Sorry, I've got my hands full here. You can see yourselves in.
Everyone's
I like
so
that the
busy.
Melusine skip.
Seems a lot has been happening. Nervalette!
Hello. You've come at the right time, but you'll have to wait for just a moment, as there are some urgent matters I must tend to first.
Whatever you say.
In the meantime, please, have a seat. If you'd like to have something to drink, let the Melusine outside know.
They're busy.
That's all right. We just ate.
Very well, then.
Let's take a break over there while we wait for him to finish his work.
Nice grandfather clock.
All right. That should wrap things up for now.
Are you done work?
Yes, sorry to keep you waiting.
We're here to report in.
Today should be the day you were released from the Fortress of Meripede, and it appears that you have managed to complete all the release paperwork.
If there's anything I know how to do, it's paperwork.
That's right, and we came here to see you right away.
Alright.
A massive whale.
Do you have any idea what that might be?
Yes, please indulge me. I need to know what Genshin whales are. I've heard tell about them in the past, but I know nothing.
Judging from your description, that cannot have occurred in any ordinary waters, but rather something like the primordial sea. A whale of that size and shape cannot usually be found in the waters of Tevat. Therefore, we can only assume that Child is presently immersed in primordial seawater.
Immersed in primordial seawater? But how? And is he okay?
He's not from Fontaine, so he won't dissolve.
Most people wouldn't be capable of entering in the first place. I'm not completely sure how he could have gotten there myself.
This probably has something to do with the fact that his, constellation is a whale, from what I'm told.
Yes? What is it?
I want to ask you a question. What was that tremor we felt earlier?
Ah, right! Paimon felt it too! We asked the Duke and he said it wasn't from underwater, so we figured you might know something about it.
It turns out that I have just received a report about this particular matter. In fact, that's exactly what I was busy with a moment ago.
Oh, good.
The source of the tremor was here on the surface near Poisson. After the shaking stopped, the water levels in the Poisson area rose at an alarming rate.
Uh-oh.
The water levels rose? Oh no! What about all the people
Oh
there?
no, I'm remembering that dialogue line from the trailer.
Fortunately, the water levels only rose for a short period of time, and have already returned to normal now. However, I still have a bad feeling about the whole phenomenon.
We gotta get to Poisson and fast.
If the change in water levels is connected with the leaking primordial seawater, then the situation in Poisson may be much worse than it appears.
It's definitely much worse.
Navia should be in Poisson, right? We need to go check on her!
Yep. The Spina di Brisula headquarters is there.
I
It's
would
also a boat.
like to go there as soon as possible, but I'm afraid I can't leave just yet. We must immediately formulate disaster prevention plans for the surrounding coastal areas to avoid potential catastrophes. I'll have to ask you two to go to Poisson first. I'll meet you there to check on the situation once I finish things here.
Sounds like a plan. Shit's already hitting the fan.
There's no time to lose! Let's get going!
It's a good thing we can use teleport waypoints.
Please be careful. The two of you have my thanks. If you need any help, just let me know.
Will do. Alright, let's go. We'll go there as fast as the loading screen will take us. I think the teleport waypoint should put us directly into a cutscene, it seems. Because our destination seems to be right next to the teleport waypoint. Like they anticipated me using it. This is going to be fun. Fontaine's Archon quests have been the most fun for me in a long time. Sumeru's were great, but Fontaine's were just more fun.
Oh no! What happened here?
Outside of the mist, I think it looks roughly the same. All the buildings seem to be in pretty rough shape now. There's nobody around. Were they all dissolved? No, let's not assume the worst yet.
No,
I assume the
she
worst
should
from
be
the beginning.
around here, right? We need to make sure she's still... Paimon means we need to check on her.
I don't see any people. I don't see any people.
We haven't seen a single soul all the way here. Oh, this is getting scary.
What will I ever do now?
Yikes.
Look, there's someone on the roof over there.
Just stay put. We're coming up. Watch your balance.
All right, just hurry.
Okay, thank God there's people here.
I'm not young anymore. How will I survive on my own?
Oh no.
My Desiree!
Yeah. I said I was excited that this storyline was going to be fun. Well, I guess it's time for the sad. All the fun is over.
He looks pretty sad.
My leg! My leg! How could this have happened? It hurts!
Just hang in there. Help is on the way. You can hold my hand if it makes you feel better.
This is looking like terrible. At least I'm seeing people. I'm happy to see people in pain over people dead. Because people in pain are people who survive. Why did we take this weird roundabout route? Oh, cutscene already?
Oh, it's Navia. She's over there. Hey, Navia, are you okay?
You don't look okay.
You're here.
We heard there was a situation in Poisson, so we came as quickly as we could.
Yes. As you can see, the water level suddenly rose. It caused quite the disturbance, in fact.
Demoiselle! There was a wounded resident next to a building southeast of here. We've already transported him to safety, but we've run out of medical supplies.
Uh-oh.
He's wounded? How badly?
He fell, so it's probably a broken leg. He's pretty shaken up. When the water level rose, he desperately climbed up to the roof. Once the water receded and he saw the ground, he became terrified and eventually...
He jumped down then. Find the leader of Squad 1 and tell him to take the wounded resident to see a doctor. He should know where to go.
Understood. I'll take over his search and rescue mission in the meantime.
All right. You'll be in charge. I'm sorry. Where were we?
This place is in horrible shape.
The situation in Poisson?
Right. Allow me to explain. A little earlier, we suddenly heard a loud
Why did it get
noise.
quiet all of a sudden?
At first, everyone thought that something might have exploded in the waterways. But before we knew it, water started pouring out from everywhere. The rushing water seemed a little
Okay,
odd,
now the volume's better.
almost like the unique color of primordial seawater. Some people didn't realize the danger and thought it was just ordinary water, leaking from somewhere. Everyone on the street who happened to be close to the water didn't have a chance to escape. As the water levels rose, they suddenly disappeared. They were all dissolved.
Yep. There's the trailer line.
Those who realized what was happening started to flee in a panic, desperately trying to get to higher ground. Many were injured in the stampede, and some people fell from significant heights. The Spina di Rosula initiated rescue operations as quickly as possible, but there have been a lot of casualties. Fortunately, the water began to recede after some time, and the chaos came to an end. The water that flooded the area contained primordial seawater, so the lower levels of Poisson are still hazardous. To ensure everyone's safety, I've asked the people there to leave as soon as possible. No one knows if this could happen again. All we can do for now is try our best to help evacuate the residents. We still haven't completed the head count, but we'll have some numbers soon.
How awful. And all of this just came out of nowhere.
I mean, a month has passed. Situations get worse in a month.
It was quite frightening indeed. I only wish that everything that just happened was a bad dream.
Is there any way we we can help, Navia?
Yeah, we're here to help too.
Thank you for being so willing to help in a moment of crisis like
I
this.
wish we were here earlier.
You don't know how much it means to me. I really can't express how grateful I am.
Wait, we're missing some people, aren't we? Yeah.
Don't say that, Navia. That's what friends are for.
I guess, yep, there's Malus and Silver.
Demoiselle, we've got a situation here.
I'll be right there.
We lost Malus and Silver.
I need to go.
Oh, that hurts. I had a feeling.
And off she goes. Seems it might be a while before she can take a break.
Oh boy. Our decisions are clear and reasonable.
Okay, the wounded are being tended to, and we finished a preliminary head count. More support has just arrived, so I suppose I finally have a moment to focus on my own matters. Of course, we should remain ready for anything, and continue doing our best to rescue others. I'll be sure to have everyone at the Spina di Rosula ready to render assistance. Traveler, Paimon, would you two accompany me to my father's grave for a moment?
It's not gonna be good. Oh, there's the lady with the broken leg.
Huh? Right now?
I understand.
Thank you.
Okay, we're about to get that other trailer line we heard, which I think I heard in the trailer. She was asking her father for advice. What was that achievement I just missed? The gulls once wept, witness the Poisson disaster. Yikes. The grave is not too far. I guess we can walk. I think. God, I hate the layout of this town. Now it's even worse with all the holes in the boards. There's a lot of nice people in this town. This was the place I was worried was going to get hit worse by the disaster. God, I hate being right. I hope there were no quests in this town. It's gonna be a very sad quest.
A lot of people here, huh?
Well, given the time of day and the whole situation in Poisson, Paimon doesn't think there'd be a ton of people here visiting graves.
Right. That's how things are now. The living are so exhausted that they've no strength to spare any words for the dead.
Yeesh.
Navia?
There's no need to push yourself so hard. There we go. Let it all out.
Navia, what's wrong?
Sorry. I just... Malus and Silver. They won't ever come back here again. What should I do, Papa?
Huh? What happened to them?
I'm sorry for your loss.
Everyone agreed on the rescue plan, but still, I was the one who initiated it. They were helping evacuate the residents, but they couldn't leave in time. And they were caught in the seawater.
What should we do?
Maybe we should go talk to the Fountain of Lucine. Because I feel like the Oceanid there might know some things.
I've known them for so long. And I know they weren't afraid. But I could at least hold a funeral for my father. And I know where he rests. But as for Malus and Silver, they're just gone. I just can't.
I mean, do we tell her about the Oceanid and the Fountain of Lucine?
Everything looks so clean after it rains. Even the gravestones. I didn't expect that you'd enjoy a glass of red wine in front of Master Callus's grave.
I can understand. Besides, the scenery here isn't half bad.
See, it's not just me. I always want to bring something when I visit Papa. Perhaps we might even have a picnic. He wouldn't be angry, would he?
I doubt it. He seemed like such a chill dude, and I feel really sad that we never got to meet him.
How could Master ever be upset with you, demoiselle? Yet the cemetery is the home of those who have passed, is it not? Everyone ends up here sooner or later, no matter who you are.
Not everyone.
Buying yourself a plot in advance, are you?
No need yet. But when I do, I hope you'll let me be buried beside Master Callus, demoiselle.
Oh, my heart! Oh.
Hey, stop joking around.
Everyone put on your taken off hats.
I'm quite serious. That way, it will save us both the trip to see each other whenever you visit your father's grave.
That makes sense. In that case, could I be buried on his other side?
Ugh, don't double down on me like that.
After all, besides you, demoiselle, the two of us could certainly be considered Master's closest companions, no?
Personally, I believe we fill those shoes just fine.
Why are you bringing this up all of a sudden? Seriously. All right. I'll remember your requests. But I'd really prefer not to talk about this stuff. And what do you mean by saving me a trip? I'd make the journey even if I had to visit you two somewhere else.
Let's go to that somewhere else.
I'd promised to let them rest in peace here. But here I am breaking that promise.
No, all you gotta do is visit them where they are.
I'm sorry for letting you see me in a mess like this. I don't usually cry, really.
Ether,
Paimon
do something.
doesn't know how to help you feel better.
Say something.
Well, she understands how you feel.
I had always thought I could make my wishes come true. But now that I think about it, that never solely relied on me. Many things can only be accomplished with someone else's help. Malus and Silver have helped me so much. But by contrast, I could do nothing for them. I'm so sorry.
You can spend as much time as you need here, Navia. We'll stay with you.
Come on, let's go to the Fountain of Lucine.
Thank you. Right now, you don't know how much that means. By the way, you can have a look at this. It's a list of victims from the incident that took place here.
Oh.
Obena, Khan, Burnett, Giverny, Francine, Karina,
Desiree,
Joinville, Julianne, Esson, as well as Malus and Silver. So, everyone else is safe. But still...
It's okay. I know what you're thinking. And you're right. We lost Malus and Silver. But we were able to save more than we anticipated. The overall outcome indicates that the cost was worth it.
No one's sacrifice is truly necessary.
Right. Don't think that way, Navia. One person might be saved at the expense of another, sure, but that isn't something we should ever consider a trade.
We don't trade lives.
Malus and Silver were not the price for saving anyone. They're heroes.
You're right. Thank you, Paimon. What you said just now was pretty amazing, actually. I'll remember your words.
Oh, really?
Seems you've become more eloquent in the time since we last met.
Oh boy, haven't seen you in a while. Happy to see you. What's the occasion?
The knave? What are you doing here?
Is everything going well on your side?
Yes, my people are carrying out the mission according to your request. All the residents of Poisson have been evacuated, and we're preparing to relocate them to higher ground.
That sounds like a plan.
As for these supplies, we have everything taken care of. There is no need to worry.
Thank you very much.
Wait, do you two know each other?
It wouldn't surprise me.
We just met recently. Right, Miss Navia?
Oh wow, really? Darn, if anybody knew each other, I would have expected you two to have at least heard of each other.
Usually, I would call this a coincidental encounter, but that doesn't quite fit this time. Besides, it never even crossed my mind that a Fatui Harbinger would come looking for me. Thanks to the Knave, Spina di Rosula received generous support from the Fatui, which allowed us to complete the rescue and evacuation work so quickly.
Okay, now is the hate boner for the Fatui gonna come out ether, or are you gonna let this one slide?
Mutual aid is essential to fostering positive developments. We were already in the area, in any case, so it was nothing. That said, I must say that you're a lot sharper than you let on. I'm sure you understand what I mean.
I apologize for all the ways in which I tested you previously. We've never worked with a Fatui before, and it's extremely important for us to know who we're working with. My subordinates have reported that Fatui soldiers have been observing water levels and taking head counts in various locations. I hear that they've also prepared a large amount of emergency supplies. I'm quite surprised.
I'm impressed, not surprised.
This is nothing to brag about, nor do I intend to. It is simply the way of powerful organizations to act forcefully, whether they are doing good or ill. You've witnessed that firsthand, in any case.
Spina di Rosula basically functions the same way.
As I've told this traveler before, I know of the prophecy, and I intend to prevent the impending disaster. Lending your organization a hand was a natural first step in accomplishing that.
I wouldn't even say it's the first step.
Do not be troubled by this token of our sincerity. Perhaps one day, you'll also be able to help me in the same way.
Good. Can you say it in a way that doesn't make you sound like a mafia boss?
Without your help, there would have been many more casualties. I won't forget your kindness.
Furthermore, I sincerely regret what happened to Malus and Silver. I only wish that my people could have arrived a little earlier to prevent this from happening.
I hope we don't get a twist that it turns out that she caused this disaster, and I hope this is just genuine.
Don't say that. You and your subordinates did everything you could. As Paimon said, Malus and Silver didn't choose to sacrifice themselves for any specific person. And they weren't the price paid for other salvation. They chose to become heroes themselves.
It's just a risk involved.
I've never liked hearing people put it that way. It's like trying to relieve pain by saying some noble-sounding words. But right now, there's nothing more suitable. They really did become heroes.
You're right. I'm sorry for your loss, Miss Navia. Water is life to Fontaine's people, and it also spells disaster. It's no wonder that people always say that prophecies represent fate. Fortunately, I've never been one for such opinions.
So, you're one who will try to change fate, then?
Oh, darn. We gotta stop talking to Arlecchino. I just keep agreeing with her more the more she speaks.
Of course. That is why I'm going to Hotel Bouffe de Thé. I still have some things to take care of, and the children need my attention.
Also, how are Lenny and Lynette?
By the way, Traveler, Paimon, one more thing.
Alright, then we'll just... Huh? This isn't right. Paimon thought you would ask us to walk with you for a moment so you could tell us something in private.
That is a clever and useful conversation technique, which I do like to use when necessary. But there's no need today. It would not hurt to have Miss Navia listening in. Traveler, I'm sure you remember that I said we could work together when we had the chance.
Didn't expect it so soon. Oh, I guess it's been over a month later, so...
You and I both know that there may be issues with the Primordial Sea. Previously, it was the Fortress of Meripede's sluice gate, and this time it was the water levels in Poisson. These are both signals.
So the time for jolly cooperation has come? Is that a Dark Souls reference I see there?
Indeed. Allow me to share the latest intel I've received from the House of the Hearth's intelligence network with you. During some recent investigations, a child claimed to have discovered some ruins near Poisson. The ruins date back to ancient times, and seem to be worth investigating in many ways.
There's probably another sluice gate under Poisson, isn't there? That's why there's another boat being built here. It's not that... because all wanted to make a boat out of the headquarters. I think it was meant for evacuation.
Judging by the dating of the ruins, they may be related to the prophecy and the coming crisis. The situation is becoming more urgent, so any pertinent information will prove extremely precious. My people initially came to prepare for ruin exploration. Unexpectedly, this disaster struck. And at present, we're all busy prioritizing the rescue effort.
So that's why the Fatui were already in Poisson.
I wanted to take the children along, but unfortunately, Linny, Lynette, and Fremine have all been dispatched to higher ground to assist affected residents. Linny told me that outside of the house, the person they trust most is you. Which is why I want to give you this task.
Are you sure this will be okay?
The House of the Hearth's members see each other as family. But Linny, Lynette, and Fremine said that they also see you as such, even though you are not from the house. I'm sure you already understand how earnest they consider their friendship with you to be.
Oh, that somehow makes Paimon feel kinda happy.
Makes me feel happy too.
The intel I just shared about the ruins could fetch a high price. But since the children consider you family, it's only natural that I freely share it with you.
I don't know if that information really does fetch a high price, because that should be information that should be publicly known.
Got it! So all we gotta do is go to some ruins, right? We can handle that.
Excuse me, but may I tag along?
It could be dangerous, Navia.
You wish to join, Miss Navia?
But are you sure you're up to exploring some ruins? You need to rest.
Well, I'm sad, yes. But I can't just go back and plop myself into a chair by the roadside and do nothing.
Isn't Monsieur Neuvillette coming here to assess the damage as well?
There's no point in being depressed while we still have a disaster on our hands. As my father's successor, I must live up to the hopes he had in me.
Which is why it might be better for you to stay here and help manage the disaster. We can handle some ruins.
Besides, I'm also doing this for myself. I need something, a distraction, to keep my mind off Malus and Silver.
Oh, don't appeal to my heart like that. Fine. You can come. Navia's strong, but she needs company right now. We can be that company if she goes to explore the ruins with us.
Since you put it that way, I have no objections. What do you say, Traveler?
We'll go to the ruins together.
All right. The ruins are to the south of Poisson. Here's the map.
Okay, the three of us will handle it. Come on, let's pack up and get going.
Deluge of Wrathful waters. Meeting is also parting. Ugh. Ugh, these quest names are gonna be depressing, aren't they? Nope, don't want combat right now. Leave me alone. Just how far south of Poisson? That's considered close? I guess this is not super important, but I recently learned how, like before the stream started today, actually, how the whole key things work. You still use the keys, it's just there's now like a daily thing where you can now use other things. You get 2 companion thingies. I don't know how often those refresh, but you're able to use those as substitution for keys. So basically you have like 2 free keys that you get every so often now. Yep, those are definitely ruins.
So, are these the ruins the knave was talking about? Whoa, talk about old.
They seem to be pretty ancient, all right.
I'm amazed there's anything left standing.
Let's go in and have a look.
Just be careful.
I'm more worried about you, because the water level could rise again at any moment. Place of Secrets. Recommended party level 90. No recommended element. This party level's lower than recommended. Yeah, I know, because I don't have level 90 characters. We're gonna die a lot. And we're probably going to have to pull a lot. Where's my checklist? There's my checklist. Here we go. No Narvia party member, eh? I heard we're getting her as a character in 4.3, so... It looked like they had her almost dying in the trailer, so I'm kind of worried about her dying still. But I wouldn't put it past the developers to give you a character as playable right after they die in the story, so I'm not looking... So as far as I know, she might die, and I'm gonna keep being worried about that, as it might happen. I'm working on building my Noelle again. I decided to give Noelle the clam set.
The floor here isn't safe.
Thank you, Paimon. That would have been nice to know before I stepped on it.
Yeah. Let's dance. Oh, hi. Oh.
Yeah.
Alright. Easy peasy.
This place has also been contaminated by primordial seawater.
Yeah. And a lot of it, too. A Fontainian would most likely dissolve the moment they fell in.
We should probably go back to safety, Navia.
Right! You can't go down if there's primordial seawater. It's too dangerous, and it won't be any help for you to just stay here.
It's kind of why I felt like you shouldn't come, but you definitely need somebody to be with you.
Don't get Paimon wrong. We're not saying you're useless. It's just that...
No, you're right.
I can't
do anything in this situation. I'll leave this to you.
From the looks of things here, there may be no way back. Ooh.
That complicates things. Maybe the only way left is forward.
We should have thought of that.
In that case, do you want to wait for us here?
The water levels here are unstable, and there's a chance the water will rise. So staying here wouldn't be safe either.
I mean, you were introduced in a trailer climbing. Can you climb your way out of this?
I'll go together with you. Perhaps we'll find the exit just up ahead.
Seems like there isn't any other option.
All right. Come with us for now, then, but please be careful.
We're gonna just not address the primordial seawater in the room. Keep moving.
Oh no, it's a dead end! Let's try climbing over from the side.
It's so rare that they let us climb inside of a domain. I always felt like it was weirdly arbitrary that you can't climb in a domain. I get that it makes it easier for level design if you can't climb on everything, but it's a core mechanic of the gameplay. You should at least keep it. A lot of radishes in this ancient tomb. All we need is some mythical wall chickens. It's a good thing this door still opens. Cube. Dice. Alright. I can't believe all of this is underground, but domains don't make sense. This bridge is gonna collapse, right?
Wait, there's something wrong with this bridge! Run for it!
Yes! That's not good. That's not good.
Navia!
There's the trailer shot. Rip. Is this where we get like a funny reveal that she's actually not from Fontaine? We're playing as Navia?
Demoiselle.
Huh?
Demoiselle, what are you doing here by yourself? Would you be standing here till dark if I hadn't come to get you?
Maybe she just wants some time to herself, Malus.
Hmm? Oh. Was I sleeping?
This is trippy.
Yes, it would appear so.
I must be tired.
That's quite possible. However, you were the one that suggested we go out for a walk.
Oh, right. I nearly forgot.
Oh yeah, she's super dead. Her life's flashing before her eyes.
It must have slipped my mind when I dozed off. I haven't had a nap today yet. Have I? This is a familiar feeling, yet something's a little strange.
Is something the matter, Demoiselle?
Oh, no. No, I'm fine. I was just trying to recall why we came out for a walk.
Do you remember Mr. Giverny? He'd requested our help before with foreign merchants who had a debt dispute with him, and we'd resolved the matter not long ago.
We were headed to see how things were going with him at the moment.
Ah, right. Yes. I remember now.
Oh,
This is about to
Miss
get
Navia.
sad, isn't it?
Ah, Mr. Malus. And Mr. Silver, too. It's good to see all of you.
How have you been?
I've been great. Thanks to your help, those bothersome merchants finally realized that I wasn't the one they were looking for. Why, I wasn't even the guarantor for that person. They were knocking at my door day and night. Even my neighbor, Obina, was getting fed up with them.
These are all the names on the list of people from earlier, right?
Sometimes force is required to calm someone down and get them to listen to what you have to say.
That's right. Oh, by the way, Burnett, what was it that you wanted to give to Miss Navia again?
Oh, yes. One moment, I have it right here.
What do we got?
Miss Navia, these are some flower seeds that I prepared. Please take them. They're a very good variety, and they'll become very big and beautiful once they bloom. I don't know what we would have done without your help, so this is a little token of our appreciation. I hope you won't refuse.
She talked to everybody who fell in the water today, didn't she?
Did you cultivate them yourself? Thank you so much. I'll certainly take them. Malus, we do still have some empty flower pots at home, right?
Why, we can have as many pots as you'd like, demoiselle.
Perfect. In that case, we'll swap out some of the decorative plants for some of Mrs. Burnett's flowers.
Very well.
Wait. Something seems to be off here. Excuse me, madam. if I'm not mistaken, your name is Burnett, correct?
That's right. Is something wrong?
No, it's nothing. This is the first time we've ever met, but your name seemed familiar to me. I must have heard it when I was discussing things with your husband previously. I've heard this name before. Sometime recently, I'm sure of it. And why are there so few people around here? Where did everyone go?
Oh, I just noticed the bridges are fixed right now.
We must mind the time, demoiselle. We still have important things to attend to today.
Huh? We do? Like what?
Well, now, did you forget?
Miss Navia, here you are. I've been looking for you. Please, come to the Opera House. Your trial is about to begin.
My trial? Wait, why would I need to go to the Opera House?
Uh-oh.
Yes, she's right, demoiselle. It's just about time now, so we should get going.
Oh? All right then.
What is happening? I'm confused. Well, not so much confused as I am perplexed. We're actually going.
Navia. She's here.
And her two attendants are with her. Goodness, everyone's finally here.
Oh no, this is a nightmare. These are all the people on that list.
There sure are a lot of people here to see the trial. And they all seem to be oddly excited about something. I even know some of these people. Karina, Desiree, Joyville, Jolien.
These are all the victims.
Why are so many people here? And why do I have no recollection of this case?
Oh no. I know what's about to happen.
And as for the judge... huh? Where's Monsieur Neuvillette?
Please sit in the defendant's seat. Don't worry, Silver and I shall accompany you.
I have a bad feeling.
All right. But are you sure you can stand behind me?
Typically, it wouldn't be allowed, but today is an exception.
Hey, what kind of place do they think this is?
Come on. Do they have any idea what they're doing?
Seriously.
Enough with the whispering! Could someone please tell me where Monsieur Neuvillette is? And why I'm standing trial?
My dear Miss Navia, have you not yet realized what you've done? In that case, allow me to explain.
We're literally in her subconscious dealing with all her guilt, is probably what's happening.
As all here know, you are Master Callus's successor, the head of the Spina di Rosula, someone held in high regard by every soul in Poisson. After you took over the Spina, you treated all of us just like the late Master Callus had. If anyone in need reached out to you for help, you responded. Not only you, but your butler, your subordinates, nearly everyone in the Spina di Rosula fought for the well-being of those in Poisson.
Wait a moment. Aren't you just proving that I'm a good person?
Yes, very much so.
Yes, correct. Absolutely right. And that is why you stand accused. You have helped so many people get through so many difficulties. You are one with us. We are inseparable.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
We are one big family. All of us who are from Poisson, inextricably linked. And with you being so important, we couldn't possibly do without you.
Uh-oh. They're gonna try to turn everyone into an Oceanid.
Therefore, this fair and honorable court shall declare you guilty, and you shall stay here. You will be together with us forever.
Huh? What are you saying? Everything you have said is correct. I have indeed done a lot for my hometown, and I would be willing to be with you all, but what is the purpose of having me stand here like this? What is there to discuss?
Ah, well, if that's what you think, then I have no further comments.
Joinville. Join us.
How wonderful, Miss Navia!
I know all these people. Why are they laughing?
Silver, you have a comment?
I seem to remember now. Yes, I get it. This trial is...
Wait just a moment. This isn't right!
There's that man I know and love.
What was that, Mr. Malus? Our conclusion is very clear and unanimous. Let the court judge her now. She's guilty!
Stay here, Navia! You're one of us!
Demoiselle, don't admit guilt. This trial means to keep you here forever.
I wish to exercise my right to defend Our Lady. Mr. Wrathful, you only know of Navia's goodness, but nothing of her utterly independent mind.
She was born a free and independent spirit. She has never been tied down by anything. Indeed, even the death of Master Callus couldn't stop her.
Her actions cannot serve as proof that she identifies herself as part of any group. She merely acted as an individual, extending her hand to help others.
Fuck, I'm glad I'm not from Fontaine. I would have been fucking part of the group.
Please do not mistake her actions
Part of the ship,
as
part of the
being
crew,
otherwise.
part of the ship, part of the crew.
Really? As an individual, you say? Don't forget, we are all Fontainians here. This is the nation of justice, the nation of Hydro. Even if Miss Navia only voluntarily rendered her assistance, that doesn't change the fact that her beautiful soul must return to everyone. Water accepts all, blends with all. It will surely accept her kindness. Everything is measured here in the nation of Hydro, and in the end, everyone shall meld together. Thus, when a unanimous opinion emerges, that opinion represents justice. Now, I speak for everyone. Our opinion is consistent. Navia should stay. We and Navia are one.
And you would call this justice? Preposterous. You are merely jealous that Demoiselle still has a chance to exist as an individual. Have you forgotten how much you all once longed to become individuals, to become independent?
Do you mean to defy our justice?
Yeah, it is creepy.
If your justice is flawed, then why should we acknowledge it?
As you said, we can also have our own justice. Silver and I shall defend Demoiselle. And that is how we will enforce justice.
My head... it hurts.
Demoiselle.
Silver, it hurts. My head is spinning. All I can see is stars swirling in front of me. I remember now. Everything that seemed odd from the very beginning. Karina, Desiree, Joyville, Jolien, Essen, and Mr. Giverny and Mrs. Burnett, who we met earlier. Even Malus and Silver. I don't want to admit it, but they're all dead.
Dead is a strong word.
Don't be afraid, and don't admit guilt. We will protect you to the very end.
Absurd! Who are you to say that she cannot be judged? We are the majority, and in the nation of trials, the majority is absolute justice. We are the will of all.
That's not what happened in the trial that happened for the, what was his name, the captain of the Milazines.
Don't let them escape! We shall keep Navia here with us!
Mr. Malus and Mr. Silver, must you be so stubborn? How could the two of you possibly hope to stand against the collective? Do not resist. This judgment is fair and just. Navia belongs to us.
The dream. It's collapsing.
After all that happened, she should not be left alone in Poisson.
What are you saying?
No more excuses.
She says we're jealous. Jealous? How could she possibly be an independent individual?
What's with these people?
Who's jealous of her?
She belongs to us.
Miss Navia, she...
Silence.
Oh, why are you question mark, question mark, question mark?
That's...
Monsieur Neuvillette!
Such commotion is prohibited in the court. The accusations you just presented are nonsense and cannot constitute a proper trial. The court will adjourn for the rest of the day. In this, I shall hear no objections from any unauthorized party.
Our thanks, Monsieur Neuvillette.
Please leave with me, Miss Navia, while there is still time.
But...
Go on now, demoiselle. This is your only chance to leave this place. What, can't bear to leave us behind or something?
A little bit, yeah.
Malus.
My apologies. I couldn't resist making one little joke once I realized that this shall be our last goodbye.
Oh, you just had to make it sad, didn't you, old man?
Malus... Silver...
Quickly, you must come now.
Goodbye, demoiselle.
Oh, I'm not gonna cry. I'm close to it, but I'm not gonna cry.
Farewell.
Ah, fuck, he had to say farewell. Fuck. Oh, I'm too emotionally unstable for this. This game's gonna fucking get me to fucking pour tears out by the end of it, isn't it?
No, wait! Just a second!
Navia?
You're awake. Good.
God, you took forever to get here in Neuvillette.
I must have been dreaming. Malus and Silver were still alive, and they were defending me at some insane trial.
It looks like you're all right.
Did all the sad feelings cause you to have a nightmare? Paimon could give you a hug.
Yes, give a hug, Paimon.
The ruins you were exploring suffered a cave-in. When I arrived, I found you falling toward the water. You were just about to be dissolved within, but I...
What is it?
I think I saw 2 Oceanids protecting you. It was only for a moment, perhaps even a fraction of a second, but they gave me the chance to retrieve you.
Malus and Silver.
Were it not for their intervention, I would not have been able to rescue you before your consciousness dissipated.
Wait, did you say Oceanids? You mean like what happened with Vache?
So the people that are dissolved become Oceanids.
Perhaps those 2 Oceanids were the people you saw in your dream.
Ugh. Oh, my heart. Oh, my heart.
I always told them that they didn't have to protect me. To think that they'd keep doing so even after death.
Like I said, they're not technically dead. They're just part of a collective conscious now.
Please come with me.
Are we just gonna leave her there?
Neuvillette.
She can hear this.
Oh, I am quite all right. Perhaps there's something we could chat about?
Why do you look so stiff all of a sudden? Oh, Paimon knows. You're the type who feels awkward when there's nothing to talk about, right?
I merely thought that we should give Navia some time to herself.
Okay, fine. If that's what you think. I don't think that's a good idea. She needs help. Professional help.
Huh? Why didn't you just say so then? Don't you think it's even more awkward to call us over like this and then have nothing to talk about?
I suppose so.
Oh, by the way, Sinjuin sends her regards.
Ah, Sijuin. I hope all is well with her these days. Her work in the Fortress of Meropide has not been too much for her, has it?
No, but she's terrifying people with her cooking.
No way, don't worry. She's doing fine down there. She's an amazing head nurse.
I see. Well, that is good. I have always worried that Sijuin would need a lot of time to understand the world of humanity, just as I have.
Oh, and the Duke also says hi. Even though Sijuin made him do that. He hopes that you haven't been overwhelmed by all that's happened lately.
Thank you. I have indeed been busy lately, and I also hope that everything is going well in the Fortress of Meropide.
I mean, as well as it could be since you made that seal.
He still doesn't know what to talk about. Let's chat about something else then.
You're the expert here, Paimon.
So, Neuvillette, you're probably quite the swimmer, huh?
I mean, that's a very interesting talking point, Paimon. It is curious. I would like the answer to this question, but I don't know if it's appropriate.
Mm-hmm. Yes, of course.
This isn't going anywhere. Let's try something else. How did you find these ruins? Did the knave tell you?
Or were you just aware of them because you're super old?
Yes, in fact. I had arranged to meet you in Poisson, but when I arrived, I discovered that the Fatui were helping the residents evacuate. They had even transported a large quantity of supplies to the area. Amid my astonishment, I ran into the knave, and we had a chat. She informed me that she had asked you to investigate the ancient ruins here.
Yeah, we originally planned to meet up with you, but we thought you might still be busy with all those official documents. We didn't think exploring the ruins would take very long, and who would have thought you'd wrap things up so quickly?
Hope Navia can get off her feet. Wish I could get back on her feet. Love is destructive. That's quite the achievement.
I'm sorry to have kept you all waiting like that. I'm feeling much better now. I guess we should get going again. Will you come with us, Monsieur Neuvillette?
Yes, if you wouldn't mind my company.
All right! Another one joins the party! Let's get going then!
I'm worried that if I progress too quickly, we'll miss dialogue like that. Ugh, it's these boys again.
No escape!
It feels really crazy that people grind for artifacts to get their crit rate over 100 so that they can basically be doing 5-digit numbers all the time. The crit damage is 100. Not a really big fan of that, personally. Bubble pop. Alrighty. Let's keep navigating.
Oh no, another unstable path.
Oh, fuck.
Watch your step.
Fuck! Jeez, Paimon, let me know at least 2 seconds earlier. God. Oh, God. I almost didn't have the stamina for that. Jeez. Oh, this place is completely collapsing.
Watch out! There are rocks falling over here!
With sword comes shadow.
Let it rain. That's cheating.
Spring forth!
Oh, good. Door open. Alright. Where to next? I want stamina. That looks unstable. I don't trust it.
Seems we're almost at the top. Keep it up!
Is the top where we want to be, though? Oh boy, this looks like a not very fun fight.
Propagate!
No escape!
Incoming! Nowhere to hide.
Man, I haven't had to fight Rune Guard, so it feels like a long time. Go that way, please.
Scatter!
Oh, I hate this. Oh, I hate this fucking... The wall pins. That's death.
Don't blink!
Alright, one death. Man, we do not die that often anymore. Call it. Nope. Oh well. Nothing important. I feel like I have so many emerald orbs. Oh, it's just an elevator. I thought it was going to make the cube do something.
I'll protect us.
What's holding up that bridge over there? Alright. Got a bad feeling about this.
Let's dance.
Investigate the space ahead. I love that that keeps
Looks
going
like
on in
we've reached the
cutscenes.
end.
This is the place. There should not be any other hidden spaces in the vicinity.
The path sure had some twists and turns, but it turns out that this place isn't actually that big.
What do you mean it isn't actually that big? Seems to be something on the wall. Oh, engravings.
Stone slates. It seems like they were put here as an offering. Could we take them down and have a look?
Perhaps we should just leave them be for now.
There are 4 locations in total, but only 3 stone slates. The slate that should be in the first empty spot is missing.
Interesting.
The surrounding walls also show signs of damage.
There's something written below. Let Paimon see. Reason dictates that this nation be destroyed. I shall record the history of its future here in its past. Say what?
They want to preserve the history even if the nation doesn't last.
It feels like someone left these slates and these words here for a purpose. But does he mean that Fontaine should be destroyed?
We heard that there was a nation that was here before Fontaine that got destroyed. It's probably about that.
That would fit the circumstances dictated by the prophecy, yes. Indeed, the slate's contents correspond to it. Take the second slate, for example.
There's a person kneeling here. She seems so dedicated. And there's a whole bunch of other people behind her doing the same. She's facing this... what is this? Some kind of island in the sky?
Celestia, maybe?
And is that Lady Farina in the third image? Did the Hydro Archon fall into the water?
And is that a ring of people around her? Paimon doesn't quite get it. Are they all in the water?
The fourth image. I know this one. This exactly matches the content of the prophecy.
This is ancient. Why is this here?
The people will all be dissolved into the waters, and only the Hydro Archon will remain, weeping on her throne.
Yeah, they do seem to match. But what is the first slate? We're missing some details here. Oh, that's much bigger than I thought it was. I was gonna try to get the memories from it.
More information should be hidden in these slates, but I fear I cannot easily uncover it, most likely due to us missing the first slate. I am very sorry.
Don't blame yourself, Monsieur Neuvillette. Deciphering ancient stone slates isn't one of your duties.
I think. I really don't know what an Eudex does.
Ooh, Paimon's getting the chills just looking at these slates. This says that it's the history of the future, right? That means the prophecy's sure to come true.
I really hope it doesn't mean that.
Might be time to move. I hear Natlin is nice this time of year.
Still, Paimon feels like these images are kind of weird when you look at them together.
If they're ancient, how long has Farina been sporting that look? She can't possibly have been wearing the same outfit for like 500 years, right? I get what you mean, Paimon. The issue is the order of the third and fourth images, right?
That's right! If the images are in chronological order, shouldn't the fourth, the waters drowning Fontaine, come before the third, where the Hydro Archon herself falls into the water?
And yet the order is reversed here.
The second image is also quite concerning. What are the peoples in the image confessing to?
If we go by timing, Lady Farina only emerges in the third image. That means that the person in the second image might be the previous Hydro Archon.
Egeria, then. I had never met her, but her appearance here does match the records. The previous Archon kneeling before the floating island in the skies, as if confessing a sin.
Did she herself commit that sin? And if not, why would she be in such a posture? Also, I'm still wondering why these ancient stone slates are here at all. Judging from their contents, could this place be the origin of the prophecy? Does that mean that someone, or some people, once saw these slates?
But who would have created these slates and left these words here?
It seems that any further clues will have to come from Farina.
She's gotta know something. She was keeping way too many secrets.
In that case, there's no time to lose. There's nothing else to be gained here, so let's head back first.
Also, place your bets now. How much does Zhongli know? You think Zhongli knows what's going on here? The guy seems to know everything.
Yeah, we better get somewhere safe for now.
I really want to know what's on that first slate. Honestly, who created slates doesn't matter now. The real question is whether things will truly play out as the prophecy foretells or not. Meeting is also parting. How do we leave the ruins, though? I guess people can teleport out when it's convenient to the plot. Well, I want more explanations on how domains work in the lore. That's what I want.
Let's split up here. I'm going to check on what's happening with the Spina. You know how it is. There's some things you just need to be there for yourself.
You still have energy for that, Navia? Paimon's already beat.
Just head back to the Fleuve Cendre and have a rest then. Thanks for keeping me company all this time.
I'll depart as well. Thanks for your hard work today. Rest well, everyone.
Okay, the audio feels a little weird right there.
Traveler, I will go talk to Farina tomorrow morning to ask about the stone slates. I'm sure that you're concerned about this matter as well. If you have time, drop by my office. I will share the results of our discussion with you.
Alright, see you tomorrow, I guess.
Are you really gonna talk to her about this directly? Will that be a problem? Paimon's getting a little scared now that it's come to this.
She has long been harboring secrets, and will not give them up easily. Which makes it all the more my duty to ensure that she understands the present situation.
Alright, we'll leave it in your hands then. You're probably the best person to talk to her anyway.
I will be carefully considering my words tonight.
Traveler, Paimon, our safe house at the Fleuve Cendre is always open to you, as ever. So please don't think you're an imposition.
And we've been staying there every day anyway, so...
Alright. I'll be on my way then.
I'm glad things are turning out okay for you, Navia. Although I'm still concerned about Silver and Malus. That's the end of that quest line. Time for a new one.
We're finally back!
Welcome back. We've got a special menu prepared for you two tonight.
Yay! And there's good food too! No, the boss is the best.
You did well, Paimon.
Ooh, desserts! Nice, these are all Paimon's! Paimon's already starting to forget what happened today.
Oh, there's a familiar hat brim.
Oh, that voice. Is that who I think it is?
Huh?
Oh, look, a starving artist.
It's you two. What are you doing in Fontaine?
What are you doing in the sewer?
Mona?
Did the stars not tell you that we might be here?
Seriously, nobody just uses a scry glass whenever they've got time to just see who they'll meet on the road.
Still, we didn't expect to see you here. Wait, you're not a Fontainian, are you, Mona?
Well, I have some business to attend to here, so I booked a hotel in the city. I was just out for a stroll when I bumped into you. Quite unexpectedly, if I might add. Why did you think I was from Fontaine, though? Is that because Magistus doesn't sound much like a Mondstadter surname?
I guess... Didn't we meet you originally at Leeway, now that I think about it? We met you at Stonegate, is where we met you during your character quest.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Well, I used to have my own surname, which was, well, some other thing.
Oh, we're not
Either way, the old hag told me when she took me as her disciple that the first step to being a great astrologist's pupil was to change that name.
You can do that? Sorry, people. Sheets, not good enough.
There was nothing for it, really. She really is amazing at astrology, so I changed my name to what it is now according to her wishes. To my surprise, however, Magistus is not the name of some ancient house or clan.
It isn't?
It sounded made up, I'll admit.
Nope. Although it is used by us in place of surnames, it generally just means great.
I thought it meant majestic, but sure.
Wow! Imagine including a boast in your name. Wait, are you gonna have to put that into your genealogy as well?
I reckon so. In any case, I'd give my disciple a name like this as well, if I were to take one.
And may I ask your master's name is? It was Nicole, right?
Astromancer Barbeloth Trismegistus.
3 times as great? You're fucking with me.
Whoa, that's a long one. Does it also mean great or something?
My name means Mona the Great Astrologist. As for the old hag, hers is, in plain speech, the thrice-as-great Scholar of the Stars. Just take it as a title specific to astrologists.
I don't want to be an astrologist. That's my takeaway.
Thrice as great? That's so petty.
I know, right? That's just how she is. She used to call herself Magistus, actually, but when she took me in, she changed her name to Trismegistus.
Are names something you can just swap out so freely? These are titles, not names.
Talk about excessive.
How many titles do we have again?
Magistus is thus the calling card of our school, so to speak, which makes it about the same as a surname. It's all right if you don't get it. You can look into it further should you need to study astrology more deeply.
How about Triple Strength Traveler or Triple Appetite Paimon?
That sounds terrible!
I couldn't help myself.
But anyway, you're not Fontainian, are you, Mona? You're from Mondstadt, right?
Well, I was born in Mondstadt, yes. My parents migrated to Dorman Port, and I traveled with the old hag for a while, after which I settled down in Mondstadt City.
Oh, that's a good thing then. At least we know you won't be dissolved by Fontaine's waters.
Speaking of that, I'm sure you're aware that a bunch of things have happened here in Fontaine, right? I know you're not a local, but I'd avoid getting too close to any water that looks strange all the same. There's something ominous about it. Well, the water, I mean.
I'm kind of glad we're getting her involved in this plot, because when it comes to prophecies and water, Mona is the first person who comes to mind.
That was the main reason, yes. Just a while back, the Steambird invited me to take part in a panel and speak about the circulation of the prophecy as an astrologist. The invitation was sent quite early on. I don't think anyone expected Fontaine to be in this much trouble.
I did.
What do you make of that prophecy, Mona? Just tell us what you think as an astrologist. Your word would go a long way to make things more certain and less scary.
What I can tell you is that I'm an astrologist, and that this prophecy concerns the fate of Fontaine, even that of all Tevat. Ascertaining this is akin to reading the fortune of the whole world. I'm afraid that this is not something that just anyone can do. If I could do it, you would no longer call me an astrologist, but a visionary.
There's that word again. Vision.
But on the flip side, the prophecy is so huge and powerful that it must surely come from a powerful visionary. Its contents involve the fate of the world. Disregarding it would be a mistake.
A visionary? Sounds really powerful and all, but does such a person really exist?
Of course. The old hag could do it, and I'd bet there are others amongst those Hexenzirkel colleagues of hers who could do something similar.
I need to ascertain the accuracy of the prophecy. Could you help me get in touch with your master?
Huh?
Oh, that's right.
Are you sure?
That's right. She's trying to avoid her because she read her diary. Oh yeah, that during the Klieg story quest. Go back and watch that, and if you haven't seen it yet.
All right, I'll help you. It isn't often that I see you with such a serious look on your face. I'll tell you once I hear back from her.
I wonder if it's actually going to require you to do the Mona story quest in order to get to this point.
Thanks, Mona. You're amazing as always.
Which might be why they added that new feature for making it easier to unlock story quests.
Oh, well, this is something only I can do after all. So yes, your praises are quite welcome.
That's the greatest of astrologists for you! Of all the people we know, you know the star's the best!
Indeed. That's the spirit.
Oh, sorry. I came to see what all the commotion was about. If there's anything you need, do not hesitate to inform the Spina di Rosula.
Oh, whoops. Guess we were getting a little too carried away there. Well, I'll go tend to my own business now. If I receive any news, I'll be sure to come find you two again.
And there she goes, quick as rushing water. And here we are with the Spina guy giving us suspicious looks.
Oh, we're making a ruckus. Let's try to keep it down next time, Paimon.
If Paimon hadn't spoken for you, it'd be you getting all the weird looks. The things Paimon does for you.
Thank you, Paimon.
That's more like it.
Alright, good night's sleep, replenish energy. We've got to meet with Nervalette tomorrow.
Good morning. To be honest, Paimon's still feeling kind of sleepy. But it's time to get up, Traveler. We agreed to go see Nervalette, so let's pack it up and get going.
Hunter's Profits. Go to Nervalette's office.
You're here! Finally!
Is something wrong?
Monsieur Nervalette and Lady Farina, they seem to have gotten into a dispute. Please go see for yourself.
Why are you waiting for us to dissolve that situation? You do it. It's your job. Oh boy, here comes Miss Animated herself.
Like I said, I've already explained everything.
And yet the problem has not been properly solved. There is little space for excuses between us. It is not my intention to offend you, but please, tell me where you stand. You are the Hydro Archon Focalor, are you not? Look at this. This is a list of the victims from the recent Poisson incident.
You mean... they're all...
We did not arrive in time to avert this disaster, and I will not have it happen again. I will say this once more. You must tell me everything you know. Yesterday, I found 3 stone slates in some ancient ruins near Poisson. Do you know anything about those?
Seriously? You're questioning me like this is a court case now. I don't know anything about that.
You're on 2 of the 4 slates.
But you found them in some ancient ruins, you say?
That's correct, which is why I came to ask you some questions. There should have been 4 slates, but one of them was missing. The other 3 feature different images that seem to correlate to the prophecy.
The prophecy?
The second of these slates depicts the previous Hydro Archon Egeria kneeling before a floating island in the sky, as if confessing something. Do you know nothing of this either?
I don't. I've never seen such slates.
Look at us, we're just over there in the background.
I'll ask you again. Do you really have no information regarding the previous Archon? My deciphering of the slates indicates that the Hydro Archon Egeria once had to confess to, or apologize for, a certain sin. If anyone would know about it, it should be you.
I mean, that's not necessarily true, Nervalette, but at the same time, you're the one who would know if anyone does.
All gods don't have the same secrets, you know. She was herself and I'm me. Is it really so strange that I know nothing? I understand your concerns, but I'm sorry. I just don't have anything to tell you.
Forgive me for saying this now, Lady Farina, but I have long known of your various secret investigations into certain matters. There are several indications that you have been investigating the prophecy on the sly. This is not strange in itself, considering that you are the Hydro Archon. But it is strange that you should also claim to not know any of Egeria's secrets, as well as do nothing following your inquiries.
How does one go about replacing a previous Archon anyway? Zhongli has stepped down from the position, so are we getting a new Geo Archon anytime soon?
You have never been as superficial as you have presented yourself to be, nor are you a fool. And yet, your behavior is very inconsistent.
Is it?
So you've been watching me all this time, have you? I didn't think you were that type.
You...
Well, since you know about my secret investigations, then you should know I'm actually working to take care of it. There's no point questioning or suspecting me. You're the Eudix, but you're still my subordinate. You should be following my lead. Just trust in me. You're Archon, and do as I say. Never mind whether you can truly convince yourself to or not. It'll all turn out fine. That's all I have to say. We do not discuss this matter again. Oh, the opera's about to start. Toodles!
God, you're such a terrible person. Anywho. Why are we in slow-mo?
Did Farina not notice us standing by the door? Wonder what's up with her. She was smiling. She didn't seem in the mood to care if we were listening in or not.
She seems deeply troubled. She also seems to be deliberately hiding something.
I assume you've been outside for a while now?
Oh, you noticed.
How could you not?
Seems
The
Farina
door's
didn't
open.
even realize we were here.
She was in a great panic, though I cannot discern the reason. Our discussion reached impasses time and again, a state of affairs that we cannot allow to continue. Still, I do not understand. Dialogue is the basis for understanding, so why did she keep refusing to engage?
I'm afraid questions alone might not suffice. We need to make her understand how dire the situation actually is.
Everyone in her inner circle has noticed that she is hiding some secret. The issue is her attitude. I fear that she will not reveal anything unless absolutely forced to.
Alright, let's give her a fake report that shows that the water level is going to rise 20 feet tomorrow.
We may have to create a situation in which she will have no choice but to speak.
Oh no.
Oh? Like what?
Normally, people will only reveal the truth when standing trial. Perhaps we must have the Hydro Archon experience just such a scenario.
Ooh, interesting.
But Farina's seen so many trials, and she's really good at dodging questions. How do we make sure that she won't just slip away at the first chance she gets?
We will need to consider this thoroughly, join forces with various parties, and then do what we can.
As shady as it might seem, this might be something where Arlecchino could come in.
If at all possible, I would prefer to recuse myself from this affair, but we must prevent the prophecy from coming to pass. This may be cruel to her, but all Fontaine is in crisis. The information a god possesses is too precious, and so we must take a chance on this.
In that case, we'll need help.
But who will lend us their aid to do such a thing?
Oh, I think I know who to call. Zhongli, get your ass over here. No, I'm kidding. We're gonna go probably get Arlecchino. A few days later, On a boat somewhere in quiet Poisson. God, we're just skipping through time in Fontaine. People don't talk about this often enough, but years have passed in the story at this point, technically. Just because of the fact that we watch the fucking yearly event of the Lantern Rite happens every year. We've had multiple other events.
That's everyone, huh? Speaking of which, it was pretty smart of you to think of hiding here.
Poisson was just involved in a disaster, so it's presently devoid of people. That naturally makes it the best choice.
And here you are drinking tea like it's the most natural thing in the world, huh?
That's what families should do. Sit and enjoy a leisurely time together.
It's nice to enjoy tea here, you know? Care for a cup?
Lend me your ears, everyone. Or perhaps one of you might like to start us off. How about you, friend?
Me?
Oof, bad choice.
No, I don't think I can.
Then, how about you, good sir?
I fear that I will cause the mood on this boat to become as somber as it is in court.
Oh, I'm a dumb idiot. A boat in Poisson. Of course it's the Spina di Rosula headquarters. I'm a moron.
Well then, I guess we're lucky we've got a local like me to organize things. Wonderful, the spotlight at last. I guess I'll be facilitating things from here.
That was a little
Loren's
romantic,
here.
don't you think?
Oh, you might be right. Anyway, to cut to the chase, our friend here, the Traveler, has brought us together to discuss something.
We're gonna try to put the Archon on trial.
As for what that is, well, let's start by saying that we'll be pooling our efforts together to create a series of traps.
Oh, how intriguing.
Well, I guess we're getting Arlecchino involved, although it indirectly through Linny and Lynette and Freminette.
Well, it's just an expression, really. One that I just learned from Chlorand. And used on the spot. So, let's invite her to explain in detail. A round of applause, please.
Huh? Didn't you say that you would be facilitating this?
Oh, we can have guest speakers.
Oh, come now. Your work doesn't involve much public speaking, right? This is a good chance to practice. You might even pick up some fancy oratory tricks to impress your boss with in the future.
I see. And what does my boss say?
He is glad that you consider him your boss. Do go on.
This is such a weird affair.
In that case, do any of you have experience hunting?
Not that I recall.
Bullshit. Anywho, sorry, must be my allergies.
Fremine and I once used a wooden stick in a basket to catch wild rabbits when we were younger. As for Lynette, oh, right. You were sick that day, weren't you?
I've also gone diving to catch some fish before. Does that count?
I'm afraid not. You may or may not have heard, but Fontaine once played host to a group known as the Marechaussee Hunters. Though that was their name, they did not hunt animals, but rather various monsters left behind by the ancient dynasty of King Remus.
That's it, King Remus. That's the weird thing I was talking about. The weird city that was destroyed, or country, or whatever.
Today, Fontaine's monster population has already thinned greatly, so the hunters have blended back into society, taking up arms in other lines of work. They even left a unique methodology of hunting in their wake. A trap comprises of the following components: bait, a trigger, and a containment device. Sometimes a lethal implement will also be necessary to deal with the prey. So, if we were to build a trap together, right now, what would you choose to build it with?
Carrot and a stick. That's all I need.
For me, I would prefer something basket-shaped. Pigeons and rabbits will see the bait and naturally enter the snare. Our line of work requires a deft hand, and we're some of the best in the industry, so you can count on our techniques.
You used some of those techniques while moving the people of Poisson, didn't you? My subordinates mentioned that you even performed some magic for the bawling children.
Yes, and I even managed to gather some intelligence in the meantime. I'm quite the multitasker if I do say so myself.
You are definitely entering the top 10 favorite character territory for me.
I'm afraid I can't claim that as my strong suit. I prefer more stable methods, like placing bait in the water and waiting for the fish to come within reach. That's the kind of method I would count on.
Calm and steady. Exactly the kind of person who would catch loads of fish.
And I can be their assistant.
With discretion, I'm sure.
I'd probably use some sort of mechanical animal. Papa once bought me some small clockwork squirrels, mice, and such. When placed in the forest, they can attract others of their kind. I remember that you liked those too, didn't you?
I did. And that would be a good way to go about it. If they're realistic enough, animals of the same kind will follow them all the way to the trap.
What about you, Monsieur Neuvillette?
This is a weird conversation. I know it's going somewhere, but they're letting it drag out.
I fear I do not have any related experience.
That makes sense. You usually solve problems directly, without the use of any such tricks. But I do have one more question for you, monsieur. If we were to create a trap now, how would you design it?
I would like for it to be effective, but bring no harm to the prey. A more gentle trap would be ideal.
Kind, as always. However, our intention doesn't necessarily change the containment device and the type of implement we need. If we wanted to kill the prey in one strike, we would need a powerful implement. However, that also goes for prey that must be captured and safely contained.
Wait, why's that?
Only a hunter who's a true expert at subduing their prey can snare it without harming it. The line that divides life and death is often exceedingly thin.
Yeah.
So, are we going hunting together?
We're getting for the most dangerous game. We're hunting gods.
We hadn't thought of seeing ourselves as hunters. It kinda works, but maybe it's still not the best metaphor.
I'm with you, Paimon. This has been a long charade just to make a metaphor
If
stick.
our means of capturing and dealing with our prey is to put them on trial, then the hunting metaphor is actually quite accurate.
Yes, we all agree the hunting metaphor works, but can we get to the point?
But we shall require much more courage than any hunter to judge a god. A being whose seat is an exalted throne.
Oh, so that's what's going on. Sounds very interesting.
Theron's hunting metaphor was just that, a metaphor. You will not call this a hunt because that is not what it would be in present, nor has the relationship between you and Farina reached that dire of a stage. What you need is simply the secrets she is keeping. Attempting to take her secrets is an act of sacrilegious disrespect, but it must be done, to prevent Fontaine from sinking into the waters, as foretold in the prophecy. There is neither hunter nor prey, but there must be a trap, and that is what you will need. The Stage of Fate. We should probably meet up with Mona again, too, soon.
It's been a tough few days, hasn't it? So much has been happening.
Those meetings sure did make me hungry.
Paimon didn't think the meetings would go on for so long, but everyone seemed pretty fired up, huh?
I mean, if we keep going on 10-minute asides to explain a metaphor, yeah, those meetings can probably be exceedingly long.
Paimon thought they'd be at least a little frightened. Well, Fremine was, now that Paimon thinks about it, but everyone else just looked a little surprised.
Do you feel more confident after the meetings?
Well, it's hard to say. Paimon doesn't have any experience with this sort of thing. But with you around, Paimon sure will do great. After all, you're the most reliable person in the world, aren't you? Huh?
Something wrong?
Did you just pour some tea? Paimon didn't notice you doing that at all.
No, I didn't.
Then what's that?
That's tea. I believe it's a beverage that includes hot water and leaves.
Paimon's never seen that cup before.
Don't be frightened. I'm just joining you two for tea. I merely refrained from saying anything till now.
Ah, you must be Nicole.
Who's that voice? But there's no one here.
Ah, have you forgotten me already?
Yes, from the 3.3 Archon quest.
Wait, you are familiar. You're the voice we heard from the sky in Sumeru.
The voice from the sky, I fear that description is wrong. Though, not completely wrong. You're feeling lost now, just as you were feeling previously. I sensed that confusion and thus came to you. Guiding people is an irresistible hobby of mine, after all.
We learned about you from Alice and Mona. Who are you, and what do you want with us?
Consider me a passerby, just accepting a commission from my friend's disciple on a whim.
Oh, this is one of the friends of Mona's master. Huh. So this is one of the friends of Mona's master? The enigmatic N of the Hexen Circle? Will Fontaine's prophecy come true?
The prophecy. Yes, what has been prophesied will be fulfilled. You may view such things as the history of the future.
What? Then is there any way we can stop it?
I believe you have witnessed a failed attempt with your own eyes. Can everything in Tevat so easily be changed?
There it is again. Fate. Can there really be no exceptions?
Ah, so you've caught on. Just as prophecies are usually only the future as seen from the perspectives of the gods, could things be happening in hidden corners where the gods' gaze does not fall?
Why does that sound familiar? It reminds me of what the Dainsleif says about Conria in the Tevat chapter prelude storyline trailer.
Are the things that you shall see different from the fate that the gods perceive?
What is she talking about? It all sounds really impressive and important and stuff, but it also sounds kind of scary.
The tea in the teacup is just about gone as well.
I believe that you understand, right? Some things are insignificant, but others you must reach out to change. Ultimately, fate shall serve as your only guide, no matter what will happen in Tevat's future. All you need to do is to play your part.
Kind of disappointed that all these Hexen Circle mages we never get to meet, they're just always a fucking disembodied voice.
This was good tea, by the way. Thank you for your hospitality. Well, that'll be all for today.
The voice. It's gone.
But they left the teacup. Mage N. Is this the clue you're leaving for us? The prophecy will be fulfilled. Unless there are some things that the gods cannot see or comprehend.
What? I want to hear someone talking. Alright, coming!
You're getting more diligent, Paimon.
Hey, it's you who's getting lazy, okay?
Aye, got me.
Well, I see I've walked in on some lively banter.
Where have you been the past few days?
Fine, just fine. I went to take part in that Steambird panel. It turned out to be more interesting than I expected.
We spoke with your master.
Not all Fontainians are pessimistic about this. One journalist mentioned that sitting around and waiting for the end to come would be wrong, and that they should make their own rescue preparations. I agreed, so we had a brief chat with her.
Did she have pink hair by any chance?
Ah, Paimon, you think of what I'm thinking. Share my fucking brain cell.
Why, yes, it was Charlotte. You remember her, right? That daredevil journalist? I'm in full support of her view. Prophecies are very important, but how can people allow their lives to be commandeered by just a few words?
That's right! Paimon's glad to hear something sensible for once.
Ah, yes. About what we had discussed before. I did try, but I'm afraid I couldn't reach the old hag. I'll try again tonight, but I wouldn't get your hopes up.
Actually, someone already came over.
Huh?
Mysterious guest.
Goodness gracious. Are you serious?
I believe she came to pass a message to us.
She said that even the god's gaze has blind spots. Pretty bold if you ask Paimon. Most people would believe the gods to be all-knowing, right?
Not really. Omnipotence, as defined, is truly impossible.
The Hexen Circle members are certainly anything but ordinary. As for the mage named N, the old hag has mentioned her a few times. She said that N's sense of direction is incredible, and that she loves guiding those who are lost.
Oh, I keep forgetting that N is not her master. I forgot that N is definitely the voice that we saw in the 3.3 Archon quest. I'm not mistaken about that, but I keep forgetting that N and her master that also see the future are two different people.
But I've never met her, and if she were still alive, she'd be... well, suffice it to say that the hag's at least a few hundred now, and N's been around for longer than that.
Whoa. The Hexen Circle sounds like a scary group. But they must really stay in shape to live so long.
Yeah, shapeless, one might even say.
Their abilities alone are pretty terrifying. If she came to see you personally, then the problem you're facing must truly be of great importance.
Well, it's not like Paimon could understand anything she said.
Yes, she was quite cryptic, but I suspect she means that there is still a way to turn things around. She didn't say when or what that would be, though, so... perhaps it is something that you cannot know right now.
True, her words are meant to be a helpful hint, but when will we realize the value and meaning? What was the best answer that my question could have gotten?
Traveler, Paimon, are you two alright?
Just lost in thought. Ignore me, Mona.
Oh, we're fine. We're just a little down right now. It kind of feels like the end is coming, you know?
I see. I feel that same sense of desperation, too. I guess you could consider me someone who has often witnessed fate. So far as I have seen, it cannot be swayed. But even so, I still hope for, and believe in, miracles. Astrology is eternal and rational, but fate may not be. It is cruel, but it can also be beautiful. Perhaps that's what N was trying to tell you. Not to lose heart, and to believe that what you are seeing playing out before you is not yet set in stone. I did originally think of steering clear of all this, but I couldn't. Even if this is all futile, I still wish to help everyone. If we don't struggle to the last, then how can we face the end when it comes?
I feel like it's only appropriate that we pulled a Mona last stream.
Huh. You do have a point.
There I go, talking about astrological principles again. Sorry about that. The moment I start talking about work-related stuff... I need to get going.
Don't worry about it. And thank you.
It was worth trying to comfort you, even if only a little. I believe that you'll help those who are struggling.
Barbalos, that's the name of the old hag. Got it. Now I remember.
I suppose that might be why we always seem to meet by coincidence.
It is weird. We only ever meet her by coincidence.
By what Mona said, but also kinda sad too. Hey, Traveler, Paimon suddenly feels like going outside for a walk. Let's go. Let's walk around the city, shall we? There's a few spots we always like to walk by.
We're also getting close to where I'm going to probably cut off the stream and we'll start a new one, because it's going to be... we're about to hit the 2.5 hour mark. No, we're not going to the Steambird. We're just literally going to a newsstand. That's a bit odd.
Huh? Our names are written in this newspaper.
Maybe we're famous.
What's going on? Let Paimon see. The underwater stronghold, the Fortress of Meripede, has continued in its noble autonomy, but that does not mean that others cannot interact with it. My recent attempts to enter the fortress bore little fruit. Huh. Guess Charlotte still hasn't given up on that. Thus, did an Outlander friend become the focus of this report? A blonde adventurer with their white fairy, legends trailing in their wake. It is said that this mysterious traveler once visited the underwater fortress.
We forgot to give that interview. We still need to tell her about Risley.
So while the fortress's interior remains a mystery behind closed doors, do not fear, for the tales of the traveler contain surprises in spades. Journalist Charlotte's biggest scoop yet, the Traveler's Trail, World Walker. Huh. Charlotte took so many awesome photos of us and we never even noticed her.
I did.
She hasn't been able to get a hold of anything at the fortress, so since we're easier to find, she's using us as the subject matter instead?
That sure seems to be the case.
Ugh, seriously? Well, fine. Those headlines and photos do look cool, so Paimon will forgive her this time.
Alrighty. Continue moving forward. Hunters and Prophets. This is quite the long quest, huh?
We're here! Paimon's hungry. Should we go in and get something to eat?
We're literally just going about our day. It's almost like the end of the world isn't about to happen.
Hey, quick! Look! That's
Farina?
the limited edition
Oh.
of the 16 slices a day cake!
Oh, the one that Farina got for that meeting with Arlecchino. It hasn't already sold out for the day?
It was so delicious the last time we tried it. Despite the tense situation we were in, let's give it another go. Paimon's sure it'll be great.
Can't let anyone get ahead of us.
One slice of cake, please.
Already?
Showed up after all. Oh, wait, you're the one from the Palais Mermonia.
You're Celine, right?
Oh, are
Or
you here to buy
Sadine.
cake too? It seems Monsieur Nervalette was right. You really can eat.
Wait, did he really say something like that?
Who wouldn't?
That's right. Even he has his own preferences when it comes to food. As for me, I love the cake and coffee here.
Do you come here often?
Usually every day.
Every day?
It's part of my daily schedule, apart from work. I shall have my cake and coffee.
Then what if someone told you one day that this place would be closing soon, and you wouldn't get to eat cake here anymore? What would you think?
But why would it close?
Let's say the water level rises and it's now beachfront property.
Well, Paimon doesn't know either, but maybe the waters will rise tomorrow. You know, like in the prophecy.
Oh, the prophecy. To be honest, I haven't paid much attention to that. No. Still, even if there'd be no more cake tomorrow, that wouldn't keep me from having some today. No. It's the same for eating in general. You might not be able to eat tomorrow, but if you can do so today, then you should carry on. That's what people call living, you know.
I agree. To the umpth degree.
Huh.
Don't be sad. Excuse me, could I have 2 more slices of cake to go? These 2 slices are for you. Sijuin said that this kind of expression you're making is what humans call being sad.
Oh, you talk with Sijuin?
Oh, you know Sijuin?
I sure do. She was born before me, and she sometimes comes to the surface to teach us things about humans. She said that humans are creatures that are saddened easily, yes, and you can only lift their spirits by feeding them delicious food. So please try the cakes here. I've got something else to do, so I'll be going now. You two try to stay in a good mood after eating, all right? Bye.
I love the Melusines, and I can't believe there are people who hate them. Skip to your loo.
Alright, let's dig in. Paimon's sure this cake will be delicious.
Alright, you share a glance with Paimon as she snarks them down.
Last time, and the flavor gets even better with a sip of tea. It sure would be nice if we could come again tomorrow. Sure would be nice if we could always eat delicious food here.
Alright, Hotel de Board. What's next on our little tours of places that'll get shut down when the apocalypse happens? We got a newspaper. We went and got food. Now we just need to read a detective novel.
Steambird office. Let's go look for Charlotte and have a chat.
Hiya!
Wow! If it isn't the Traveler and Paimon! Oh, have you seen the article I wrote about you?
Yeah, by the way, we still need to give you that information about Wrathful.
Ha! You've got some nerve! You just used us to make some quick mora!
Can we negotiate a profit split?
Oh, you needn't worry about that. I heard that you were in Poisson some time back, so I sent you a letter to discuss just that. It appears you didn't receive it, though.
That being said, I feel like we don't owe you anything. You fucking paid Paimon's food bill before going to the... That probably set you back a lot.
It's alright, though. I've set aside the amount intended for you. I've even set the table with some food.
Really? Oh, you're the best!
What a great journalist.
You're almost a little too easy to win over, Paimon. If I were a journalist with ulterior motives, you'd be in trouble now, you know.
Oh, Paimon knows you're not like that.
Still, what brings you here all of a
I
sudden?
love this music.
Were you looking for me?
When Mona mentioned you, we thought of coming to see you at work.
I see. It seems you've already bumped into Mona here in Fontaine. So she mentioned me? What did she say?
She said that you're a real daredevil of a journalist.
You don't have to do the accent, Paimon.
Nice. In which case, can this daredevil journalist dare to request an exclusive interview with the legendary Traveler and Paimon?
I already intended to, but Ether might disagree.
Huh? So your article in the paper today doesn't count?
Oh, of course it doesn't. That was more like live photography. What I'd like to do is dive deeper and ask you to talk about the things you've seen and experienced.
Yes, she wants to interview Ether.
Are we even qualified enough?
Yes!
Why not? If I say you're worth an interview, then you're worth it. But not right now, of course. I'll need a few days to prepare.
Oh, in that case, we'll just chat when you have the time then?
Oh, so that's a yes? Ooh, splendid! I'll tell the editor-in-chief immediately. I'll have to apply for lighting, a venue, some props, and... Whew, so much to get done now. Talk to you later.
Wait, Charlotte, Paimon's still got a question for you.
And what's that?
If, just for example, Fontaine were to be flooded tomorrow, what would you do today?
Huh, that's the prophecy you're talking about, isn't it? I mean, I do hear about it often, but I've never once thought that the day could be tomorrow. If you're seriously asking, then I might try and think of a way to leave Fontaine. Oh, but I'm still a journalist first and foremost. That means I have a duty to be reporting from the scene. And secondly, I wouldn't forsake my homeland that easily.
Just get in a boat and just roll across the streets. Live journalism.
From what I've seen, most people don't know what they'd do should the worst come to pass. In truth, it might be better just to behave like normal rather than worry over such an end. So in all likelihood, I'd probably still be prepping at the office for that interview of ours. I know what you're thinking. That sounds a bit sad, but I've always believed that it's best to do what you enjoy. Just think about it. If this nation really were to be suddenly destroyed tomorrow, but I still successfully finish an exclusive interview with a truly unique person, then the story I would wind up writing would truly be timeless.
You're correct.
And then do you know what I'd do? Well, I'd write that story, send it for printing, and use messenger pigeons to get copies out to the various nations as soon as possible.
The end of Fontaine. The headlines write themselves.
I'm not a dreamer, nor am I a workaholic, but I do love my job, and I'd be proud of leaving such an article behind. I guess you could say that I was born to be a journalist. But anyway, that's my answer. And on that note, I'll get back to my preparations.
She's playable now, so it's glad that they involved her in the Archon quest a little bit more. She's such a fun character.
So nice. All of a sudden, Paimon actually kinda envies her. Anyway, let's go and take a look at the sea, shall we? The sea breeze and scenery can be a pretty soothing combo, huh? Paimon's been thinking.
Yes?
If it wasn't Fontaine, but all of Tevat that would be destroyed tomorrow, where would we go and what would we do?
I don't know.
No, Paimon should ask, if you could choose, what would you like to do?
I'd probably want to spend it talking with friends till the end. So just like Charlotte said, suddenly trying to consider what to do is pointless.
We've always been moving to the next destination, so we haven't spent much time thinking about these kinds of things. We didn't have to either, with us always being on the road and whatnot.
Till that moment comes, I think I'll keep journeying on.
You mean, still traveling?
Cherishing every single moment that I have to look upon this world.
Huh. Wait, isn't that what we've always been doing?
Keep on keeping on, Paimon. Your banter goes back and forth between the two of you as time slips by. As night falls, you return to the accommodations and end a busy day. The next few days are just as calm. Charlotte comes to find you and conducts an interview with the Spina of Razula, safe house at Flev Chendré. Navia, having finished her business with Poisson, drops by to take a photo of the two of you, and all goes well. Are we done? Is it time for our next quest?
Feels like you'll grow mold if you stay here long enough. But it's still better than the Fortress of Meropide, that's for sure. It's not only damp there, but salty too.
Ah, so the two of you are still here. Wonderful.
Isadora!
Oh, you're from the Palais Mermonia, aren't you?
Yes, I'm Isadora. Monsieur Nervillet sent me to look for you two before. I heard that afterward you went to the Fortress of Meropide.
Ah, so you're under the impression that we might be wanted criminals?
Not at all. I'm well aware that you're friends of his. Actually, I'm here to pass along a message from him.
Let's hear it.
Yes, inside the Opera House. The Maréchaussée Phantom has declared the incident a small-scale riot.
Uh-oh.
A riot?
Well, that said, I don't personally think it was that serious. Lady Farina was watching a performance at the Opera House, and while she was resting during an intermission, some other audience members suddenly started harassing her.
Oh no, she's got a heckler? That's awesome!
Loudly accusing her of doing nothing about the prophecy crisis. And before she could respond, others started to join in. The crowd continued to grow, and protests against the Hydro Archon started to break out.
So people have started to put the blame on Farina. Guess they finally found an outlet for the pressure they've been under due to the prophecy.
I agree. People will naturally rely on gods, as is customary. But the moment people feel threatened, gods are also the first to be blamed.
It might actually be her fault, though. Who knows?
So
or
what happened
Ejiria's
after
fault.
that? Is Farina okay?
Seeing that the situation was spiraling out of control and that further argument was pointless, she claimed that she'd gotten tired of this and left in a hurry. The Maréchaussée Phantom had their hands full maintaining order and did not catch where Lady Farina had gone. Only when things had stabilized did we realize that she had gone missing.
She's missing now?
So, you mean she's still missing?
That's right. The Maréchaussée has dispatched many people to search for her, but we don't have any leads yet.
That said, I don't think there's much to worry about. She is a god after all. Even if she were to fall into the hands of rioters, what could ordinary people do to her?
From what we heard from Arlecchino, she's literally powerless. I understand the situation.
Good. Monsieur Nervillet sent me to tell you about the situation, but he didn't say anything else.
Don't worry, this is more than enough to go on. Thanks for keeping us informed.
Is that so? Well, all right then. In that case, you two take care. I'll be heading back to the Palais now.
Well, sounds like we should hurry over to Poisson then.
You sure caught on quickly.
If we know Farina, she won't try to fix things in this situation. Instead, she'll look for a place to wait out the heat.
We saw her run away from the Opera Epicles and go off in a direction. But we didn't get to follow her last time.
And, as we also know, she may be loud and dramatic, but she doesn't have a heart of stone. When Nervillet was talking to her in the Palais Mermonia, and she heard about Poisson, she couldn't hide her sadness and remorse. It would be hard for her to ignore being accused by the public today. Paimon thinks Farina's probably taken the opportunity to slip away to Poisson and try to relieve the sense of guilt that she's feeling. Huh. Well, what do you think? Paimon knows the answer, of course, but Paimon can do the analysis to back it up, too. Cool, huh?
Those detective novels have had quite the effect on you. You're becoming a detective. See, becoming a detective's done you some good.
In that case, there's not a moment to lose. Poisson, here we come!
It's a big assumption, but it's not unfounded. Alrighty. Find Farina and Poisson. Alrighty, we're gonna take a small break, by which I mean I'm going to just pause the recording and start up again.